So in the previous videos we talked about both ER model and a relational model, right? ER model, entity relationship model, and relational model. So ER model was a high level conceptual model, right? And relational model was a representational or implementation model, right? So whenever we are trying to design a database, first we create a conceptual model, and then we convert it into a relational model or then we convert it into representational or implementational model, right? So it is a hierarchy in which we do the conversion, right? First we do the requirement gathering, then we create a high level conceptual model like ER model, and then convert it into representational or implementational model. Example of that model was relational model, right? So we studied the basic concepts of both ER model and relational model, and now we are going to learn about how to convert ER model to relational model, right, in this particular video. So we are going to be studying about this algorithm in order to convert ER model to relational model. It is a 7-step algorithm. We'll go step by step, right? So let us say you want to convert this particular relational schema, or this particular ER schema or ER model, and you want to convert all these things or all these entities or relationships that are represented by this particular ER model into relational model, right? So let us look at step by step procedure in order to how to convert this particular ER model into relational model, right? So the first step is mapping of regular entity types. Mapping of regular entity types. Okay, so in case of ER model, what did we study? We studied out about entities and relationships, right? And attributes, right? So we studied about entities, relationships, and attributes. So what are these composed of? This particular ER model or ER diagram is composed of entities and relationships and attributes. These are entities. Department is an entity, employee is an entity, dependent is an entity, right? And this is a relationship, works for relationship, this manages is a relationship, and dependence of is a relationship, right? I guess that there is some focusing problem. Okay, so these three are the relationships that we have. An employee entity has the attributes SSN, birth date. Name is a composite attribute that is composed of 3 simple attributes: F name, middle initials, and L name. Address is a simple attribute, and salary, right? Department has attributes name, number, and locations, right? And these are the 2 key attributes that department has, name and number. What are key attributes in case of ER model? Key attributes are the ones that can be used to identify uniquely every entity in a particular entity type, right? So if we are given the name of a department, we can uniquely identify each department in the department entity type, right? Similar is the case in case of employee entity type. In case of employee entity type, the key attribute is SSN. That is, given the value of SSN, we can uniquely identify each employee in the employee entity type, right? So now let us look at how to convert this, right? So first step talks about mapping of regular entity types. What are regular entity types? Regular entity types, as we have already studied, are the ones that have key attributes of their own. On the contrast, or on the other side, we have weak entity types that do not have key attributes of their own, right? So regular entity types are represented by a rectangle in the ER diagram. So these are regular entity types: department and employee, right? And dependent is a weak entity type. Wait a second. Okay, so dependent is a weak entity type. Why? Because it does not have a key attribute of its own, and this particular weak entity types are represented by these double rectangular box, right? A rectangular box that contains one more rectangle in it. So dependent is a weak entity type. So in this step, we are going to be talking about mapping of regular entity types. That is, if we are given a regular entity type in the ER model, how do we convert it into relational model? Or when we are trying or wanting to convert it into relational model, what will be the result of this, right? So what do we do with regular entity types? For every regular entity type that we have in the ER model, we create a relation in the relational model and include all the simple attributes that that particular entity type has in the ER model, right? What I mean to say is, given an entity type in an ER model, we create a relation for it in the relational model, right? And in that particular relation, what all attributes we include? All the simple attributes of that particular entity type, right? Example, let us say I want to convert employee entity type into relational model, or I want to create a relation, right? So what I will do in order to convert this entity type into relational model, I will create a relation in the relational model whose name is employee, right? And in this particular relation, I will include all the simple attributes that this particular entity type employee has. So what all simple attributes it has? Simple attributes were represented like this, if you remember the diagram that we discussed, right? So all these are simple attributes. SSN is a simple attribute, so SSN will be represented. Birth date is a simple attribute, so birth date will be represented. In this particular relation, we are including all the simple attributes of this particular entity type called employee. Why? Because we are converting this entity type into relational model, right? So now name is not a simple attribute. Why? Because it is composed of three simple attributes: F name, middle initials, and L name. So it is a composite attribute. So what we do in case of composite attributes is we do not include the composite attribute as it is. That is, I will not include name as an attribute in this particular employee relation. What I will instead do is I will include its simple component attributes in this particular relation. That is, I will include, instead of including the name, because it is a composite attribute, this particular step says that composite attributes need not be included as it is. Its simple component attributes need to be included, right? So which simple component attributes it has? F name, middle initials, and L name. So we will include this: F name, middle initials, and L name. Okay. So in case of composite attributes, include all the simple component attributes of a composite attribute, right? Now address is a simple attribute. Include address here. Address. Okay. And salary is a composite attribute, simple attribute, so include salary here. Now we are done with converting, now we are done with the first step, that is mapping of regular entity types of this particular entity type, right? What I want to say is we are done with the first step of this particular algorithm, right? For this particular entity type called employee, we have created a relation for this particular entity type, and also we have included all the simple attributes of this particular entity type as attributes of this relation, right? Also, one more thing I want to say is that the key, if there are more than one key attributes, right? In this case, there is just one key attribute. Which one is this? SSN. Why SSN is the key attribute? Because it is underlined, right? So whichever attribute is underlined, so whichever attribute is underlined is a key attribute. So SSN is a key attribute, right? So it will be represented as the primary key of the employee relation, right? While we are converting this particular entity type into relational model, right? So SSN will become the primary key now. Okay, so SSN has become the primary key, and I have included all the simple attributes of the employee entity type, right? So we are done with the first step. In case we have more than one key attributes of any entity type in the ER model, we can choose any one of the key attributes and include that as primary key in the relation, or as the primary key of the relation. Let us see in the next example. Now we are done with converting this particular entity type, this particular regular entity type. Now which particular entity type is left? This one, right? So now let us try to convert department entity type into relational model. So what does this step says? For every regular entity type, create a relation that includes all the simple attributes of this entity type, right? So now let us create a relation. Okay, department relation we have created and include all the simple attributes. So name is a simple attribute, number is a simple attribute. Now locations. Locations is a multi-valued attribute, right? In case you remember ER diagrams, then the multi-valued attribute is represented like this, right? With this double oval. So this step doesn't talk about what to do with multi-valued attributes, right? So we will look at what to do with multi-valued attributes later. As of now, leave it as it is. Just include all the simple attributes that we have in this particular relation, right? So what we did, we converted this particular entity type also according to the first step. But the primary key is left. Which one of the attributes should be designated as the primary key? If you look here, both the attributes name and number serve as key attributes of the department entity type. Why? Because these both are underlined, right? Both of them have an underlined below the name, right? So both of them are key attributes of this particular entity type called department. That is, given a value of name or given a value of department name, I will be able to uniquely identify each department in the department entity type. Or given a value of D number or the department number, I will be able to uniquely identify every department in the department entity type, right? So it has two key attributes, right? So in case we have two key attributes, we can choose any one of them and designate as the primary key of this particular relation, right? So name and number both are key attributes. Let us say I am choosing this particular attribute as the primary key of this particular relation called department, right? So that is how we designated the primary key of this particular relation. Okay. So that is how regular entity types are converted into relational model, right? How? Just by create a relation corresponding to a particular entity type and include all the simple attributes of the entity type as the attributes of the relation that you mapped it to. Okay, so we are done with the strong entity type. Any other entity type or any other regular entity type you can see in this particular model? No, because there are only two rectangles here, right? So only two entity types here, right? Now let us talk about the second step. Okay, second step talks about mapping of weak entity type. Okay, so what should we do with weak entity types, or how weak entity types in the ER model are converted into relational model, right? So which weak entity type we have here? Dependent. So in second step we'll look at how to convert this dependent weak entity type into a relation, right? Or what we will do with dependent entity type in order to convert it into relational model, right? So this step says that for every weak entity type, create a relation and include all its simple attributes, right? The same thing that we did in the previous step. In case of mapping of regular entity types also we did the same. That is, we created a relation and included all its simple attributes. The same thing we have to do here also, but we have additional steps in this particular step. But first let's do it. Okay, for a particular weak entity type, create a relation and include all its simple attributes, right? So I have created a relation and the name of the relation is dependent. Okay. Now include simple attributes. Name is a simple attribute. B date is a simple attribute. And relation is also a simple attribute. Right. This attribute specifies what relation it has with the employee. Right. So the second sub-step of this says that include as foreign key the primary key attributes of the relation that corresponds to the owner entity type, right? Okay, so in case you remember weak entity types do not exist themselves, or I should say they cannot exist independently, right? Why? Because weak entity types are the ones that cannot be in which the entities cannot be identified uniquely. Okay, that is why they are called weak entity types. Why they are called weak entity types? Because the entities in that particular relation cannot be identified uniquely because of the absence of key attributes, right? So weak entity types do not have a key attribute of their own, right? That is why they are called weak entity types. Now, in order for every entity in weak entity type to be identified uniquely, what we did was we bound it to a strong entity type, or we bound it to an owner entity type, right? we discussed when we discussed the concept of identifying relationship, right? So a weak entity type is bound to a strong entity type or an owner entity type by means of an identifying relationship, right? And the participation of weak entity type in this particular relationship is total, right? So let us see this particular weak entity type dependent is in this identifying relationship called dependence of. How? Why am I saying this as identifying relationship and not any normal relationship? Identifying is relationship is represented like this, right? So this is an identifying relationship that dependent entity type is participating, right? This relationship type is the one by means of which dependent entity type is related to its owner entity type. Which is its owner entity type? Employee. Okay, employee is an owner entity type of the dependent relationship type, right? Sorry, dependent entity type, right? So this is an identifying relationship. So while representing or mapping weak entity types, we also need to represent identifying relationships, or we also need to map identifying relationships into relational model, right? So how we can do it is include as foreign key attributes of this particular relation the primary key attributes of the owner entity type or the relation corresponding to the owner entity type, right? So the for owner entity type we already created a relation in the first step, right? Why? Because owner entity type was strong entity type or regular entity type, we created a relation for it. So what do we need to do in this particular relation? We have to include as foreign key the primary key of this particular entity or this particular relation, right? Why? Because this is related by means of an identifying relationship to employee entity type, right? So employee entity type is its owner entity type. So the corresponding relation to the employee entity type, its primary key has to be included as a foreign key here, right? So what I will do, I will include SSN also, or let us say I rename it as ESSN, employee SSN. Although it is not necessary, let us say for convenience I have renamed it as ESSN, right? So this is a foreign key that refers to this particular attribute in this employee relation, right? So this is how we bound every how we represented the identifying relationship. Okay, so now talking about the primary key of this weak entity type. What will be the primary key of this weak entity type? It will be the combination of the primary key of the owner entity type and the partial key of this weak entity type. So which was the partial key? Name was the partial key. What is the partial key? The partial key is the set of attributes that are able to uniquely identify every entity in the weak entity type that is related to one particular entity in the owner entity type, right? What I mean to say is, let us say I have an employee name. So every employee in the dependent relationship type cannot be identified uniquely, right? But in case I related to one particular employee, then one employee will have dependents, or one employee has dependents whose name is different, right? So it means that in case I relate when I relate an entity to an owner entity type, the name will be able to uniquely identify the entities that relate to one particular owner entity type. In case you didn't understand, you can always go back and listen to my lecture on this weak entity type, right? So the primary key for this particular relation, or the relation that represents the weak entity type, will be the combination of partial key of this particular entity type and the primary key of the owner entity type, right? So what was the primary key of this particular entity type? SSN. So this and this will combinedly become the primary key of this relation. Okay, so that is how we did mapping of weak entity types, right? So the first two steps are done now. Now we'll move on to the third step in the next video, okay? And in case you like it, then please don't forget to press the like button. Subscribe to my channel for more such videos. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.